Hi, everybody. Dan DeFedericis of Saratoga Report, and I am here with Jessica Troisi. She is a Saratogian, a longtime Saratogian, and she is running for Saratoga Springs Commissioner of Accounts. And I appreciate when people are part of the solution rather than part of the problem. And by stepping forward and running for this position, I think that is just great and noble of her. Ms. Troisi, welcome to Saratoga Report.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Now you are, well, you and I haven't known each other up until recently, until really perhaps your announced run for politics. And a lot of people don't know you because you're a newcomer to politics. You're not a newcomer to Saratoga. You're not a newcomer to a lot of things related to politics. But as far as throwing your hat in the ring, that's a new thing for you, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. So I wanted to just use today without getting too deep into policy or positions, just to kind of get to know you and to allow the Saratoga Report readership to get to know you a little bit of who you are. Can you kind of tell who you are today, how you got here, some of your past, just kind of the elevator speech of who Jessica Troisi is.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I've lived in Saratoga for 32 years. I consider this my home, and I set my heart on moving to Saratoga when I was 20. And it took a few years, but I made it here. After college, I left Potsdam and lived in Buffalo and worked as an addictions counselor for about 4 years. And then while trying to figure out how I was going to end up where I wanted to live, I also decided to change careers and take my hobby, which was photography, and turn it into a career. And I've been very blessed to be able to do that. And I've also had the luxury of raising my family here and our wonderful school districts and great neighbors in this beautiful town. Let's see, along the way, I have also been a general contractor for a number of homes in Saratoga where I have designed and then pulled together the various crews to build. And along the way, I've learned to work through contracts and insurances and permits and all of that sort of stuff. So I do feel that that lends itself well to the Department of Accounts and my interest in it.
I got to go back with you for a minute. First of all, fun facts here. I think I mentioned this to you that I spent time at Potsdam that you were at. I think we just missed each other in the years. And then
Yep.
I'm from Buffalo, so we've been kind of following each other, shadowing each other around the state for the past 3 or 4 decades, and then we finally meet. Isn't it fun? It's
Yes, I was unfortunately a few years ahead of you, I have to admit.
okay. Now, okay, so you wanted to come to Saratoga for a long time. Tell me why. I'm interested to know that.
I came here after my freshman year for the jazz festival in the summer with a whole bunch of friends, and everybody else was here for the music. And I also fell in love with the town and just decided that this is the place that I wanted to be. It was not quite as renovated as it is now, but it was moving in that direction, and just loved it here. The people, the place, the amenities that are here. We have everything. We have spec for the music. We have all of the hiking trails. We're so close to the Adirondacks. We have great schools. We have the track. We have everything you could possibly want. And I found the people to be very welcoming. I didn't want to leave.
Yes, I feel the same way. That's kind of how I ended up here. And yes, there is so much to offer in this city and the region. And it took longer than I thought. It's like now the word is out. I don't know if the word was somewhat out 20 years ago, somewhat out 10 years ago, but certainly since COVID, holy cow, the word is out and people are, it seems to be they're moving here in droves, and we're seeing that because that's creating
Mhm.
some issues. I'm not one that says Saratoga is perfect. We do have some things we need to address and so forth. But I do love Saratoga for the same reasons you do. So that is I appreciate you telling me that. And tell me a little, if you could, about your family life and so forth.
I have two kids, a 27-year-old who is now working in Nashville. He is an aerospace and nuclear engineer. And I have a 21-year-old pre-med who just went back to her senior year. And with any luck, she will be back here for med school soon.
Wow, med
They're
school
really
and
great kids. I am incredibly lucky.
yes, you told me that earlier. That's what I was going to follow up on. Good for you for their achievements. I've never met them, but you beam. I don't know if you realize this. You beam when you talk about your kids. You always we've had three.
They are without a doubt my greatest accomplishment in life. I am so proud of them. My daughter was a gymnast, and my son was a baseball player, and they just I can't believe how lucky I am. Every day when I talk to them, I get a good morning text from my son, and I cannot believe how incredibly lucky I am to have them.
That's so good to hear. That is so wonderful to hear. Well, let me shift a little bit. Something that's not always wonderful. Saratoga politics. You threw your hat in the ring here. You are the one Saratoga candidate for Commissioner of Accounts, and the Republican Party also endorsed you. You are a lifetime registered Democrat. Am I listing all that correctly?
You absolutely are.
Okay, great. And you are now running for office for the first time. As you know, it can be a rough and tumble world. It can be a thankless world. Why did Jessica Troisi decide to run for office, and specifically this office of Commissioner of Accounts?
Well, specifically, Commissioner of Accounts, because that is kind of my skill set. Contracts, permits. That being said, I think that we can all agree that we need some changes in City Hall, some positive changes to get away the controversy and the disagreements and the atmosphere in some departments. And I can be that change. I am very good at working across the board, bringing people together. I intend to build bridges rather than tear them down. And I have some good ideas that I'd like to bring to the table, and looking forward to learning more about it as I go along with this.
Okay, good. And you mentioned your experience as a contractor, and you also mentioned earlier that you were one time an addiction counselor. And does that help you maybe less so on the Commissioner of Accounts side, more on the City Council? That the insight that you bring to the table from those years of working with those suffering from addiction.
Well, yes, as an addiction counselor, I am well aware of the issues surrounding treatment, and I do believe that any tools necessary, any tools that might potentially get somebody into treatment, and with any luck, be a success story, would be at the end goal is the end goal of the game is to hopefully get people better and to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel and to become employed and on their own. And I do believe that sleeping on the streets is an inhumane solution. And I think that however slim the possibilities are of getting somebody into treatment successfully, it is a chance worth taking. Everybody's life, everybody deserves to have that chance to get better.
Great. And yeah, there's you noted offline when we were talking, there's some overlap between the unhoused as well as those suffering from addiction. Not all unhoused are.
Absolutely.
There's
It's certainly not everybody that has addiction problems. Not everyone has a mental health problem. I understand that. But at the end of the day, if you can try and help somebody get treatment and help somebody get better, that's the goal.
Yes, and you and I, when you talked about that offline, I have a very close friend that suffered from addiction, and ultimately he became a success. He became an addiction counselor himself, and
Wow.
I'm familiar with that, and I respect. Thank goodness we have people that are willing to do such an important job in our society. So good for you for doing that when you
I
for the
go
time
back
that you.
to if it were a family member, wouldn't you hope that every last effort was made to get them into treatment if it were your family member?
Yes, and let's face it, just about all families at some level deal with somebody in the family dealing with
Yes,
mental health and or addiction and or being unhoused and so forth. And it, it's
yes.
affected my family. It's you told me how so I appreciate your insight into this and your varied background. As a photographer, you were all over the city, weren't you? We have great philanthropy in this city. You help.
Particularly in the summer, yes. I donate my time to pretty much any nonprofit that asks. So during gala season, yes, I become very busy. I thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy interact with the people. I enjoy being able to provide a service to the nonprofits that a way that contributes, and then they don't have to pay somebody to do that. So I love it. I've made some amazing friends throughout this and got to see up close and personal the work that the Shelters of Saratoga, the Dake Foundation, Captain Services, we have some amazing places in town that provide some great services. And if I can help in that little tiny way, makes me feel good and be a part of all of that.
And
It's
our
winding down
mutual
for the
friend
year
Arthur
though.
Gonick. Okay. And our mutual friend, the late Arthur Gonick, was
You
quite
broke there for a
active in
second.
that realm of promoting. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
You
did
broke
you
up for a
catch?
second
I think
there.
I okay. I was talking about our late friend Arthur Gonick, who was active in that role of
Yes.
promoting the philanthropy and the arts in this town, and you helped him quite often, right?
I did actually. Whenever we met, because I commented one day that he was a phenomenal writer and I loved what he did, but his photos left a bit to be desired. And he retorted with classic Arthur fashion, then do something about it. So I told him anytime he was interested in having a second set of hands there with the camera, I would be happy to. So yes,
I love that, and
so I
I
miss him very much.
yes, and I concur. I feel the same way. I well, you know what? This is our first time talking. Oh, this is, by the way, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. This is sponsored content. Um, but we wanted to get an intro to just who you were, and I think we've accomplished that. Who you are, and we've accomplished that. But I'd like to come back in a week or two and talk a little more on the issues and so forth. This was a great intro. And I appreciate this, everything about you. I've become a fan of yours. Obviously, we have a business relationship. You're purchased advertising on here, but I genuinely just appreciate who you are as a person and now a candidate. And the more I learn about you, the more I like.
Thank you. That's good to hear. I'm hoping the general public feels the same way.
Hey, well, and one quick thing, you've been working hard. You keep telling me you're juggling going door to door, dealing with social media. You're active. I see your social media, your Facebook page. And by the way, folks, your website is jetsforsaratoga.com. That's also if they search that on Facebook, they will also get your Facebook page, correct?
Yes, and I think that my campaign manager also set up an Instagram page as well.
Okay,
So I think
excellent.
he has
So
them all connected.
you've been running. You've been a bit of a marathon already to get door to door and so forth, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I actually really enjoy the door to door. I'm enjoying getting to meet people, learn about what they see needing to be changed, what they're happy with in Saratoga, and introducing myself and getting to know people.
Getting to know you as I have, I don't. That makes sense that you enjoy going door to door. You're great to engage with and to talk issues and much like you said how you want to make sure the city hall people that people in city hall get along and hope that you find common ground. You don't argue with people. You may take a different position, but you do it respectfully with comedy.
Oh,
There's not enough with a COMITY. It's my favorite new word, and there's not enough of that in this city.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, thank you. Well, join us again soon. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
this. And, go make sure you've got some comfortable shoes because I know you're putting on the miles.
Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Bye.